For me, it's pretty much the same. If you use good plugins, it's pretty much the same. What I sometimes do at the end is I let it run out through my tube mixer and record it back in, so I just have like the effects of the tubes on it, you know. But I am not a one of these analog soldiers or a vinyl, you know. I'm not in love with. It's the same if I would say, oh, that brush is the shit, and oh man, that canvas right here, I only paint on this canvas, you know. It doesn't matter. I can paint on wood, on paper, on plastic, whatever, you know. It's more the trade that I'm interested in, making music, than all the favorable little kinks and twists to it and how to make what sound. I don't care. A good tune sounds good on a kitchen radio. Does the same that it does on a high-res sound system, you know. It's still just a tune. People don't listen to if it went through a lexicon room or reverb or not. They don't care. It's just us nerds who talk about this stuff, you know. You start doing some chorus, some lines or something, and it starts to influence the whole way where the tune is going, you know, where the song is gonna end up. So it's just the fact that I love working with vocalists, man. They're great people. The greater the voice, the greater the person it comes, kind of, you know. It's crazy. Most of them came into the studio. Would it be Tiki Man, would it be Capodanno from Wu-Tang? They all were here, whereby if somebody was here, I would walk up to them and give them a CD. And be like, yeah, like your stuff, you want to work? And so, most of the time nothing happened, but sometimes people called me right up the next day, you know, like Capodanno. He was only here for 2 days and he called me up and he came by. I would have never thought I would work with Capodanno, dude. Fucking Wu-Tang, man. I'm from Austria. You know, what? All of a sudden, this dude is my studio. You know, I always do like instrumentals and stuff that I just have. For that case, you know, for that instance, if somebody comes tomorrow, I can just pull stuff together and give it to them. You know. That I then can tweak it more and rebuild according to what they did, but always have instrumentals for vocalists. I don't know, I never got stuck on I have to do one thing, so I only did stuff that I felt like when I did it, you know. And around that time, I met people who could sing like crazy, you know, like Hubert Tubbs, Cesar Sampson, Sandra Kurzweil, and it probably was a more emotional phase of my life, probably, to go there, you know. What I want to do for the future, would like to produce other people, you know, like I'm doing now with that Tritone thing, where I'm doing an album for Cesar Sampson. I want to do an album for Sandra Kurzweil. And for these things, I would like to work with more acoustic things, instruments also, since the market kind of demands it. If you want to do something that works, you would have to have something you can throw on the road live, you know, and that works better if you have like a little band or so set up, you know. So I'm trying to go there with the things that I do production for, the writing for, you know. My own stuff is still going to be all freestyle, you know, whatever comes to mind. The funny thing is, everybody I meet who makes music says, yeah, I've been a DJ and then I tried to kick up my game and start producing, you know. And for me, I wasn't a DJ before. I was a producer first, kind of. And that's why I think most of the time did stuff that did not fit in, kind of, you know, because I didn't have this premeditated thought that I want to play it and blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to do it, kind of, you know. So, yeah. I didn't even want to go on tour at first. I didn't want to do interviews. I didn't want to do anything that was part of this whole thing. Because, yeah, for me, music, it was... I didn't even think I'm going to make money with this, you know? So it's just like, let's just keep it my little thing, you know? And that's why I love music. It's like a spaceship that takes off and you don't know where it goes. But it definitely takes you up. You meet unbelievable crusaders in that same field, you know? Great people. So, yeah, I kind of did everything without a real master plan still. It kind of, you know, tumbles along, yeah. And now when I go on the road and stuff, I bring my Ableton along, I bring my controllers. This way I can play much of my own tunes, heaps of it, and, you know, back in the day, it would have been horrible to play my tunes. I would have to go and cut them on dub plate and blah, 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 you know. Nowadays, it's so simple. You make something on the airplane and you think you want to play this and you can just toss it on your next set. And that's the cool thing about Ableton and working with the digital source. And like I said, I don't care about the whole vinyl thing. Oh, vinyl. I love vinyl. No doubt, you know, the way you take it out, it's large, it smells, it has a big cover, you can put a lot of writing on it, it has this haptic, you have a collectible something. I love that about vinyl, but just because it supposedly sounds better when it goes through the needle, hey, what if this club has a fucked up needle? What if this club system is put in, you know, adjusted wrong? All this doesn't matter anymore, you know? So all for the music, you know, whatever makes it easier, makes it faster, makes it better to get to making it, finish it, you know, I'm all game for that. Yeah, this barefoot thing, you know, it first originated because I wanted to have like an own sound. Yeah, I know. And we were looking for a name for it, you know, like something step, whatever, you know. And in summer I always walk around barefoot, so I came up with this barefoot thing. And Christian Schwanz from Alhaka that I produced, we two came up with this thing. We said, all right, let's do it. Let's call it Barefoot, just for the fuck of it. And I produced a whole lot of stuff and gave it away also for free on SoundCloud. Heaps of it, you know. Still doing that if somebody wants to go on soundcloud.com/stereotyp. Heaps of free stuff. Yeah, and so people caught on to it. All these blogs, Generation Bass caught on to it. Hat and Hoodie. It's like all these blogs who jumped on this thing. And soon enough, people were doing that too, because they felt this freedom of not having to go with a certain tempo, you know, or go with a, you know, would it be vocals or not, and blah, blah. So this freedom of having no tempo limits, but using all the traits that we know from this music. Would it be dubstep? Would it, you know, like all this griminess, all that bassness, all how it feels, you know, it's to use that language, but on different tempos. That also, I think, kind of revolutionizes or definitely did it in my world, revolutionized the way of how we DJ here, or how people play their stuff. Because back in the day, if you go in a club and you would mix up tempos, that's blasphemy, man. If you do a drum and bass night and all of a sudden there's a tune with 125 BPM, people be like, oh dude, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, you can't do that. So this barefoot thing gives you the opportunity to just mix shit up without having to feel bad, you know. So I think that's also the very refreshing part about it. You know, you go into a club and you can expect anything under the cover of Barefoot. You know, so. DJ always thinks they need to mix into, you know, like the next, like mix it together. I never did this because when I started playing, I played a lot with a lot of tunes with vocals, and I do not want to fuck with that, you know, and pitch it up so the vocal sounds faster or slower, you know, whatever. So I kept it all with the original tempo, and I just toss, you know, I do it sound system style. I engulfed of the tune that I'm mixing out, engulf it into effects, go pew 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 something, and then put the next tune in, you know. Nobody will recognize that there wasn't the same exact tempo. Nobody's gonna be like, hey, something's wrong, you know, because it's already like completely effected out. So I think the freedom is one thing that definitely has evolved out of the electronic music scene within the last few years, that people toss the shackles of genre boxing, you know. Yeah, Kubo is the thing I'm doing on Man Recordings. It's more like a tribal, very dance floor project with a bunch of lady vocalists, all from different nationalities, all different languages, from all over the world. Then I got the tritone thing, which will probably end of this year, will be ready to drop. It's the record with Cesar Sampson from the first two albums, but it's like the solo album. What else? Well, I'm trying to like get all my different directions spread out to the fitting vocalist, you know, like my soul closeness. Work it all out with the soul project from Tritone, you know, like get it all there. Have a rapper do this, you know, to spread, so I stop confusing the people so much, you know. I don't want to put that all out on the Stereotyp, you know. People be like, oh, not again, what is he doing now? So spread out, stay in the back, you know.